Right, so what I wanted to do for today's video was talk about essentially why I believe this might be the worst season of Disney Speedstorm so far. I know that's like a really like clickbaity thing to say, but genuinely, I believe this is one of the, if not the worst worst season that we've had in the game's lifespan. It's one of, and if I can be allowed to explain why, it's all to do with this. In previous seasons, we've had, in 5 character seasons, we've had 3 characters that were essentially free to play. You had a character that was free from the Golden Pass. You had a character that was unlockable through chests at the end of each season chapter, and you had characters that were event characters, and then you had the 2 premium characters in the Golden Pass. This season scraps the boxed. We probably better if we go here. Yeah, it scraps, instead of these boxes giving you, for example, Oogie Boogie shards. Here we're being given Dr. Finkelstein shards. The same shards are given for free in the Golden Pass. So yeah, the current exclusive Golden Pass character, the premium character is currently Sally. I wouldn't have done that. I would have made it Oogie Boogie, personally. But then you've got this chapter, which is it is kind of the uber difficult one, where you need to have all your characters leveled up to an extreme point. And I don't mind this being a thing. What I do mind is needing the premium character to get a third character. This is giving people hope that you can get a character for free, when then you go down here and you realise, oh, you need Oogie Boogie for this? Well, can't get Oogie Boogie. You need Sally for this? Well, can't get Sally without paying money. So essentially, there are 3 premium or paid characters this season. That's ridiculous. 75% of this season's characters are behind a paywall. And to add insult to injury, the mid-season characters need the premium characters as well, as much like every other season. And now, even more characters are premium, so you're getting even less character shards. And you're even further away from where you need to be. You're even further away from getting these mid-season characters, which are exciting mid-season characters, by the way. Rapunzel and Miss Piggy are characters that people have been wanting to be put in the game for a while. I hope this isn't a change that continues in the game. I play some races because I think just sitting here watching me or listening to me go on about how upset I am with the game, kind of, it's not something people really want to listen to. I know that through my streams, people getting quite annoyed at me for getting annoyed at the game, and like, I do think it's important to voice your criticisms, because like the game's never going to change otherwise.
Hi everyone.
The game's got an exceedingly
This is a very big day.
The game's gotten exceedingly worse, I've noticed. With every new update, something bad gets put in. With every good thing, 3 bad things get put in. The idea of like a challenge chapter is fine. And to be fair, Oogie Boogie did have an event, but even that event was locked behind needing Jack Skellington, who's a premium character. I've been disconnected. What do you mean? What do you mean I've been disconnected? Are they listening in on us? Does Disney Speedstorm know? Does Gameloft know?
I hope you're all having as much fun as I am.
What am I doing?
I've read about this vehicle.
Obviously, the usual things that the game gets right, they've gotten right this season. The stuff that the vanity stuff is, or like the crux gameplay stuff, they've done well. Like every character this season looks like they can like be relatively useful. Even Dr. Finkelstein, who definitely looks like the worst character of the season, still looks very good. Still seems very good. Like, Jack Skellington is one of the most annoying characters to race against. Sally seems almost broken, and I think Oogie Boogie's top speed is near that of Hans, whose is the highest in the game so far. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting potential with the characters that have been introduced this season. It would be nice to be able to play as them. It would be nice to be able to unlock them. Just saying. But in terms of the characters having like good animations, the characters looking like they're going to be, you know, meta as well, which is ideally what you want. If you're going to make your characters like locked behind a paywall or difficult to get, you're going to want them to be usable. You're going to want them to be useful. and really exciting when people do finally get their hands on them. And obviously the new track is probably my favourite. The new track is really good.
You can do this, Rapunzel.
But that's...
Not read about this vehicle.
And the changes to multiplayer, where it gives you where it does give you a multiplier every like time you come in third or higher. I kind of wish the higher your place, the higher the multiplier would be. Or it gives you like bonus points, but it's only ever one bonus point. Or it's only ever like one bonus point each win, stacking up to 10. But you can keep getting a streak past 10 if you're good enough. I think the highest I've gotten is 15. But you're not getting 15 extra points for that, you're only getting 10. I would have liked if the extra points correlated to how well you did. Like if you come first and you get like 5 extra points. If you come second you get 3, and if you come third you get 1. I guess it would be a bit silly and a bit insane if there wasn't a cap to how many bonus points you could get. But also I kind of would like there to not be a cap, so you can just... So for instance, you can do like 100 races with, say, Beast or Hands. You get 100 wins or 100 like third places or 100 like podium finishes with a really good character, and then take in King Candy, only do one race and then get leveled up an insane, or get ranked up an insane amount, so you don't have to put hours into multiplayer with characters that you don't necessarily like, or that aren't like fun to play as. Because I feel like as much as yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed, if you get a podium place, to go up a rank each time. I don't think it helps with making ranked multiplayer any quicker in reality. It gives a little bit more incentive to do well. But I don't know if it necessarily makes ranked multiplayer quicker. So I feel like the negatives, the game keeps getting right the core important stuff. The important stuff in video game terms, like the characters and the actual environment that you're looking at, is fun, is cool. There were problems with frame rate
I can do this.
with the treasure hunt game mode at the start of the season. I think those have been fixed. But I think where it comes to progression and the important stuff when it comes to what kind of game this has become, like the whole like live service, gacha, hero collector kind of, in a way, racing game that this has become, I feel like the monetization keeps getting scummier and scummier, in my opinion. And I feel like it's really come to a head this season, with there only really being one free character. One actually free character. Even character that's unlockable through just playing the game. I think I'd have a lot more problems if that character was bad. If the character was but on another hand, it's the Nightmare Before Christmas season, and we're spending it playing as, and free-to-play players are spending it playing as Dr. Finkelstein, and won't be able to get the really exciting characters, the characters that you would want to play as during a Nightmare Before Christmas season, until after the season's been and gone. At least with the last season, the free character you were given was Will Turner, who is still a main character in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. With the Inside Out season, it was a lot easier to get characters, and yes, and I don't have as much of an emotional attachment to Inside Out. Haha, very funny. But I don't have a connection to those characters, so really I didn't care who I was playing as long as the characters were decent. And all of the characters in that season were had good animations, were relatively good meta-wise as well. There was no bad character that season. I had a problem with the Wreck-It Ralph season because that was the start of the monetization heavy changes to the game. I had a big problem with that season, and I have a big problem with this season as well, with locking behind a paywall the stuff that people want. Locking behind a paywall characters like Miss Piggy, characters like Rapunzel, characters like Jack Skellington, Oogie Boogie, Sally not so much, but Jack Skellington and Oogie Boogie. Locking them behind a paywall and having these like guards up that's like, oh, you need Jack Skellington for this, so you I guess you've got no choice but to put money into the game. It's really scummy. I don't like it, and I hope that change comes soon, because I don't see this game lasting to the end of 2025 at the rate that it's going, because it's becoming so monetization heavy and so greedy that I think a lot of people are going to start coming away from it, and we'll have to see what season 11 has in store, what it brings to the table, what it even is, what it looks like. If it's this again, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, and I might leave the game for real this time, and it might, and this time it might stick, because there are so many other games that I've wanted to play and wanted to try that I just haven't had a chance to, because this has eaten up so much of my time, and this is what brings in the views. But if I'm not enjoying it, and I'm not willing to spend money on like a golden pass, when in all actuality, if I was playing this game and not making content on it, if I was not making content on this game, I would have left it in the Wreck-It Ralph season. I would have just gone. But because I'm making content on it, and the content that I'm making on it is doing relatively well in the grand scheme of the channel. So, you know, the ends justify the means in that regard. But I'm not going to be spending money on the game. I don't make money off the game, so I'm not going to spend money on the game. Like, if I were making money for the videos that I do, I'd have a bit more of an incentive to spend that money. I don't. Even if I was making money off this, I don't agree with the practices, and I think a lot of the stuff that is going on in the game is scummy. I think a lot of them are bad changes. So even if I were to be making money off of the videos that I make on this game, I wouldn't be spending it on the game, because it's just, I don't like how over dependent the game is on the premium characters, and needing the premium characters for events. Even the anxiety event. Even the anxiety event. The Ennui event. In defense of the Ennui event, I would have Ennui if I put any time into the Ennui event the first time around. I didn't. So now I'm stuck needing one more shard for Ennui, which I'm probably not going to get anytime soon. Which is annoying. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of Disney Speedstorm and the current state of the game. I'm not in the best mood when it comes to this game at the moment, and that's why I haven't been streaming it as much. That's why I haven't been, you know, excited to stream it, because most of my opinions on the game and the way that it's handling progression is a bit silly, in my opinion, and it's so scummy. And I have to add again, in my opinion, it's so scummy how the game is handling progression. Yes, the season tour has been made somewhat easier, but the season tour also isn't what's giving you characters now. It's not giving you any character shards outside of character shards you can get from other viable means. The character shards you want are locked behind a paywall. That's my biggest gripe. It's the characters that you want to play as during a Nightmare Before Christmas event. It's why I'm now so worried about a Incredibles event or an Incredibles season, because I know for a fact we're going to be playing the whole season as friggin' Violet, a character no one wants to play as. If we're playing the whole season as Frozone, awesome. But Frozone's going to be premium. Mr. Incredible's going to be premium. Elastigirl's going to be put behind a paywall. Syndrome's going to be put behind a paywall. And you're going to be playing the whole season as Violet or Dash. And that's and those characters may be amazing, but it's not the characters you want to play as in that season. You hear about an incredible season, you're gonna want to play as Frozone. You're gonna want to play as Mr. Incredible. You're gonna want to play as Syndrome, given the choice. It's like making an Iron Man game and making you play the whole game as Pepper or Happy. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What you think of the Nightmare Before Christmas season. If you've put money into the game, if you haven't, if you're a pay-to-play player, if you're a free-to-play player, I'd like to know what a pay-to-play player thinks of the monetization, because even then it's an expensive game. For something that's free to play, this game is freaking expensive, because it's £16 every time the season pass gets updated, which is every month. So it's £7 a month. $7.99 a month. But there's two golden passes for essentially the same season. It's just been split into two halves. And then an extra 7 or $6.99 for the Vault Pass. But there's also loot boxes that the game is asking for money for, and there's cosmetics that the game is asking for money for. There's a lot that the game is asking for money for. So yeah, it's an expensive game. For something that's free, it's expensive. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of the game's monetization handling at the moment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.